Good morning everyone and welcome to day 2 of Prague. I have come out by myself today, just for the morning, to go and finish my little mission for Grandad to find the Opera House, because I sent a photograph to him yesterday of the theatre and that's definitely not the building he was thinking of. I kind of expected that. So as the Opera House is a bit out of the way of everything we planned to do, I think I'm going to go do it by myself and meet up with Paul and Janet later for the museums. I think we discussed Madame Tussauds potentially, but the National Museum is our main objective today. But first of all, the theatre. Oh, this is the nice walk I was on yesterday. It's much nicer now, it's not raining. In fact, the rain was meant to be today, and it's actually really sunny. So hopefully this lasts the rest of the week now. Before I get on the train, just outside the station here, this nice little statue of a seedling breaking through rocks. There's no plaque saying what it's about. I think it's quite cute, showing nature destroying the rock around, which I'm assuming is what it's meant to be representing. Yeah. Here we are, that's the Opera House there behind me. I'll get some photographs for Grandad so you can see I found it. Weirdly, it's actually right next to the museum I'm meeting Paul and go at. So that was a bit of luck. There is actually near a metro station to get here. I don't know when it is, let's walk past it. But I think I'm going to go to the same one each day in the old town and walk, so you can see a lot more of the city walking than going on the underground. So yeah, I'm going to get some footage of that, send some photos to Grandad, and then I'm going to call Paul to find out where he's at. It's a cute little park, I can wait in if I need to. Have a little look around some of these old buildings. So here we are, Grandad, mission complete. So this is the museum behind me. You can see all the way from the train station at their end. I've just got off the phone with Paul, him and Janet will be with me shortly. I've let them know there's a station nearer, the museum's one. So I think they're going to be changing from line B, which is the line we used to get here, to line C. Just waiting for them really at this point. I'll look around a couple of these shops tonight. We'll see what we do while we wait. Quick detour across to KFC across from the museum because we were hungry. Couldn't get original recipe chicken, so I got these grandio bite things. And a grapefruit lemonade. I've never heard of this before. We are here at the Prague National Museum now. The building is beautiful. No, it's beautiful. Self-service ticket machines at the beginning, which is really cool. I have no idea how much it costs in English, but it didn't look that expensive. And they give you a little QR code thing which you scan on the gates to get in and out. But this bit behind me looks amazing. At the top of the stairs with a little QR code we can get access to the app, which has a map and everything on it, which is quite nice. So we can use that to get around rather than using anything paper-based. It shows you where you are and where you're going, gives you a little route map to get to it, and apparently there's quizzes for each section you're doing. It's quite nice. We started near the beginning in the Silurian era. We've come forward through time to the Carboniferous. So you sort of start with your early trilobites and things, and we go up here to Arthropleura. It's really cool how it's coming forward through time. I think I can see a dinosaur in the next room. The dioramas are actually amazing in here. This lyddite rock, according to the plaque, is 93 million years old. And they actually encourage you to touch it. You see where the waves brushed against it and damaged. Yeah. This is one of the largest species of Czech ammonite known, and is one of the largest specimens of that species found on Earth. We found some interesting information here. Want to go ahead, Paul?
Yes, basically, there is a particular type of substance that was used in Prague's building during the medieval times called opaka, and basically it's prehistoric sedimentary seafloor mud, and it was used throughout the buildings in medieval times. When the city was first formed and built, the city was actually coloured white and gold. But due to years of pollution, a lot of the older buildings that you see around Prague today, if they're covered in black, it's because of pollution. So like for instance, the cathedral in the town square opposite the astronomical clock,
yeah.
The fact that that's black, it used to originally be white.
Yeah.
So there you have it. So the fact that it's black and gold, it was originally meant to be white and gold.
Okay, that's really interesting.
So yeah. I'm sort of learning as I go along.
It's really fascinating. Like proper local prehistoric history, like the ammonite back there, and all this here. Like obviously Prague was.
I mean, there is also a mention in this section here about the clay that was used is a similar sort of clay that was used for White Cliffs of Dover in England.
How about that?
So they used a similar sort of technique as to what Dover would have when they were building there.
It's really interesting. Brilliant. Come through the prehistoric section and now entering the mineral stuff. Start with something on luminescence, how you put UV light over certain minerals, they will glow. These are all meteors. The locket is one of the oldest meteorites known in the world, found in Western Bohemia in the 15th century. In the 19th century, apparently, it was cut up and then turned into smaller pieces, which have been made around the world. So there's just two pieces of it. across from minerals, we've entered local Czech history. I have no idea what to expect in this gallery. That's a mould for the light bulbs used in this museum. And these are all furnishings and elements from inside the museum, so it's actually to do with this building itself. Paul says this is my uniform, and this one is his. You've seen the crossbow, which I think is made of ivory. It's a hunting crossbow.
Wood, iron and bone. Doesn't say ivory. These two figures represent Adam and Eve. The young lady on Adam represents a personification of the snake. I find it interesting that the snake is perceived as being female in this depiction rather than male. You can interact with all of these. I think this gives you an idea of the weight that the soldiers used to carry. What surprised me is how heavy the helmet is. I don't speak the language to appreciate this, but this book, as you open it, changes with the projection on top. Which it does have an English section as well. Old graffiti of horses and horse riders from the late half of the 10th century to the first half of the 11th century. Did a tiny bit of shopping, grabbed a couple of magnets, one of this place and one of Prague itself, and now come to natural history. There are information plaques hidden in the benches.
in this little hidey hole here, you can see a puffin nest. This gallery is also of how fast each of the animals runs. Also the cheetah, the fastest of the land animals, and just go back. I was in heaven. I absolutely love natural history, and that knocked socks off Natural History Museum London. Sorry, London. Not even, there was a lot of taxidermy. There was loads of models as well to represent animals that don't taxidermy well, and it was just dioramas and just, oh my god, I was like in heaven, blown away by how impressive that was. Just don't have words for how amazing that exhibit just was then. Oh my god. This gallery is to do with resistance during the Second World War. So I think it's a bit more sombre than the other bits moving around. There's already a bit over here of rosary beads made of bread, which is amazing to see. This lady made these out of bread in prison before her execution, and she was sadly reported for her resistance activities by her sister's husband. So we were meant to be going to Man Two Swords now. Paul's already gone with Janet. I then found out on the way out of the museum you could go all up to the very top, and I wasn't missing an opportunity, so I think I'm skipping Madame Tussauds and having a look out these windows that are incredibly high up over the city and above the dome which is below me. So there is a new building on top of the old building, rather next to the old building. I'm going to have a quick look around because I don't really have time to see the whole thing. But we're going to quickly dash there. So I think the first gallery is to the 20th century. I don't know what the time elevator is, but I'm intrigued. there's cool marks on the floor telling which time zone you're entering. There's all old video games and board games from the 20th century in here. And now we have current history. So the events in Ukraine, the Olympics. This figure is meant to represent death, but maybe not in the way we would think in the UK. It's carried out to welcome in spring. It's a shell of a Galapagos tortoise. Another one that they encourage you to touch. This is going to be a greater siren. I'm going to look what a greater siren is. I wonder what these two things going down the side of it are. I'm guessing it's some kind of amphibian. There's a giant salamander there. And that is a Santa Caterina Sicilian. I like how on this little exhibit here, nesting, what I think is a kitty rig, includes pollution built into their nests. Which is quite a realism thing to add, given what the world is like today. So I'm going to play on the app, realising I'd only used it for maps, forgetting all the other little features. And some of course there's a VR, or not VR, AR, augmented reality thing for the whale. Look at that! You point at the whale and it turns the museum into an underwater area. That's really cool. I wonder if we can walk around with it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's quite a cool feature on that. I was totally blown away by that museum. It was incredible. I didn't even use the guide to its full extent. There were audio bits in it I just forgot to use. It looks like you can use them later, so I'll listen to them later. The natural history bit, just phenomenal. I was impressed when I was going around the prehistoric history bit. There's some dioramas in there with dinosaurs and whatnot, which was just like, wow. And when I entered that first bit with the giant squid and diorama of the coral reefs, was like, with the lighting lower, it was brilliant. And as you went around, it just became more and more impressive. Like, it's that mixture of dioramas, models, and taxidermy just told a level of evolution and natural history that was the next level compared to any museum I've been in before. I was blown away. Like, that was heaven for me. Love natural history and the animal kingdom. Moving on from that, the actual history bits, you know, Czech history is bits about the war, you know, the resistance movements, all really informative. Brilliantly in Czech and English, so you can get everything, even the guides on the app are in English as well. But it is well worth it. It's a whole day attraction. I feel like we got here too late. I rushed a lot of that. There was a bit about celebrities from Czech Republic, which I had a quick walk around. I didn't really film anything. I got one bit about somebody from the concentration camp, which is quite a nice personal story they had, but I didn't know any of the celebrities. I don't really follow celebrities anyway, so it didn't interest me that much. So I kind of had a quick walk around that one. But even then, I think you could spend a lot more time in there and really read more. I feel like I rushed that. I think if we'd been here when it opened, I still think I had to have rushed it to go around the whole thing, because it's not just this building, it's also that building over there, which you can get to by going through a basement below, which I did do in a little tunnel. That's where the 20th century stuff is in that new building over there. Paul is off with Milo, Matt and Janet in Man and Two Swords. That's actually closing in like 15 minutes. It closes 15:15, whereas it closes at 6. So I'm going to go find them. I'm going to go head back to the Opera House quickly, because I'm going to get some photographs inside as well. I didn't think to do that this morning, if I can get into it. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to head up to Man and Two Swords to try and rendezvous with Paul and co. Sadly, the Opera House is all locked up and looks like it's closed until the 26th, which is the day we go home. So I'm not going to go in there and get those photos. I think it might be photos I find online to show Grandad of that then. But I tried my best. I got the outside of it at least. But I've just heard from Paul, apparently they never went to Madame Tussauds for some reason. They've gone to a shopping centre called the Palladium, so I'm meeting them there. In 2019, Tarzan the Musical is showing here. With Phil Collins and everything. I don't know if it is still showing here, but I wanted to come to London because I'd love to see it. I love Tarzan. Surprise guys, there's another change of plan. I made it to the food court where Paul told me to meet, and I just got a message saying he's heading to the train station. I think he's going back to the apartment. He's not answered that question. I think as I came here, I'm just going to wander around the shops here and see what there is. Because it seems pointless to have walked all the way from the museum down to here to then not look around it. At the bottom of the Palladium, there's this archaeological site. There's these little glass panels as well where you can see the old archaeology below the shopping centre. The shopping centre came out at a different metro station, so I'm going to go from here instead today. So events get stranger. I get on the train, tap on my way, and then he tells me he's still at the station, waiting for me. I got on the station before you anyway. I've just left the station you're waiting for me at. I assumed you were going back to the apartment, guess what we've been saying. And so I've managed to get here first. But he has the key, so I've got to wait for him. And it's 5 minutes till his train is due. So, weird events today. But he did tell me that the plan tomorrow is an early start for a zoo. So that might actually trump today, because this zoo looks really good from what I've seen in advance on the website. I'm really excited for it. So I think it's going to be a really epic day tomorrow. We'll just see when Paul turns up here. And this should be Paul. Somewhere around here. Say that, there's no sign of him. So he wasn't on the train behind mine. I don't have a clue where he is. I don't know if there's signal if he's on the train, because he'll be underground. The signal's a bit hit and miss. You actually do get signal on the underground here, a bit weird. But it is hit and miss. But better than getting none like you do on the tube. Yeah, I'm hoping he's on the next one, which is for another 7 minutes. Does this train have Paul on it? Let's see. Nope, still no Paul. Right, third time a charm. Does this contain Paul? Oh no, there he is. There he is. So they've had to stop a little bit for a little rest, which is fair enough. Have a little explore of this woods up here while they do that. Just hear magpies in the distance. And you can see up there the walls of the cemetery we were at yesterday. They didn't vlog in there and it was chucking it down. A little Darren adventure, because I thought we could get down to this path by going through there as a shortcut. Turns out there's a bit of a drop and it's fenced off to protect you. It's a very pretty cemetery though. It's a bat box. It is. Oh, that's really cool as a bat box. Looking after nature guys, well done. Yeah, small woodlands, actually really nice. And I'm quite glad they've got bat boxes and things in it. I'm assuming there's going to be bird boxes, there's a bat box. Yeah, I like that. Main path's just down there. Head back to Janet and Paul and see if they're ready to continue back to the apartment. Oh, apparently, however I mentioned it earlier, we're doing the zoo tomorrow. I think I did mention it earlier. Thank you for joining me again today, guys. We had a lovely day out at the museum. I thoroughly enjoyed it, which I think I keep saying. We We found out it's going to rain tomorrow, we think. Hopefully only light showers, or at least not very much rain. If that's the case, we'll still do the zoo. As long as the rain's not too heavy, it should still be alright. If not, we'll find something indoors to do. I think the zoo has a lot of indoor areas like a biodome and things, so it might be alright even if it is a bit rainy, as long as it's not too heavy. We'll find out what tomorrow brings when the morning arrives. And hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow for that. Night, guys.